Hey everybody, who has spent time in summer in Paris before? I can tell you I've never been to Paris. But anyway, we are creating a pocket folio that is designed with summer in Paris in mind. That is created by Papercraftsocials, and I'm ambassador for that. I am Christi with Christisecreations and a mixed media artist that specializes in chainmail and paper crafts. So let's get started. I always pre-cut. That is going to be the easiest things in the world. So we're going to start with this piece right here. We have a seam here and two seams here we need to fold before we do anything else. And the reason we fold these first is when after we glue backing on here to make it even stronger, it will make life a little easier on us. So we're just going to fold that down. Perfect, ready to go. And now we're going to fold here and then here. The second fold is a little harder than the first one that we're doing first. So we're going to press that down just like that. I'm using a bone folder. You don't have to. I just find it's easier for me. Now we need a crease right here. And this just helps it close later on what we're doing. So, and this is the hardest fold on this project that we'll be doing. Alrighty, now that we got all those pre-folded to make where it's supposed to have a little bit of a lip. I don't know if it actually is going to, because for some reason it's so pre-folded. Now I want to double check and make sure this lines up right. Even though I folded it earlier, we need to get it to that seam. Not the top seam, but the bottom seam. And it's a little off, so we're going to repress. There we go. And this is a seamless fold, which is nice to have. So, we've started. I'm using a tape runner and glue stick for most of this stuff today. And I'm just going to tape around the edges, because we're going to put that solid pink and white stripe thingy. So I should really know the technical terms instead of calling things thingies. Down. So I'm probably putting a lot more tape than I need to on the edges, but I want to make sure it stays stuck. And then I'm going to run my glue over everything else. I'm just using a mono glue stick. You can get them at multiple different locations. Okay, let's now stick down this right here. And then we will start again. I apologize, he's going to be a little growly it seems. And you can see I just messed up, so let's hope I can pull this up. Luckily, I was able to. Please ignore the growly puppy. And you press down. Okay. Now that I got the whole thing, we are good to go on that. Now you're going to cut it. And it'll be like this. I have it upside down. So there is now a cut. Okay, let's move this bottom piece out of the way. Perfect. I pre-cut because no one wants to take an hour for me to cut everything. So the reason why we pre-fold is because now it's a lot easier to fold. Now depending on what glue you used, you may need to let it sit for a little while longer than me. I knew what I was needing to do. So I had used the glue stuff I needed so y'all didn't have to wait forever for glue to sit. But as you can see, it will buckle sometimes. And you just need to go back and put some glue there if it happens. So let's get all these folded pre-done. When you're doing the two pages together, I have found that having a end of a scissors, the bone folder I'm using, does help. But if you don't mind the creasing, then have fun doing it. Okay. So we have our first part done. So something special about this particular Papercraftsocial kit is it also comes with an explanation numbers sheet, but you don't have to do this alone because you got me to teach you. So you have a whole folio stuff here that has now been pre-cut. You have your tags, your folders, your pockets, all of that. This one right here is just a simple fold. And I fold again so none of the white is showing personally, like this. And you put it where you want to. You just hole punch this. I don't have my ribbon with me because I did not think about it. But anyway, hole punch this. Add some fun ribbon to it. Some other different styles of tags here. There are all sorts of tags. But what we're needing are not the tags. The tags are all the decor. We're needing the things that have numbers on them. So, let me get these, I should have organized beforehand, but I didn't, so I'm going to say, oh well, and we're going to move on. We're going to start with number 1. You're going to fold these gray pieces into the white side. And this is where I like having my good crisp edges, especially when I'm putting it something like this. So it'll still add some bulk, but not nearly as badly. And if you don't want to have these tabs, you can cut these tabs off where it'll lay flat and make a more flat seam in instead. That is totally up to you on that point. So, I don't remember, I know I talked about it at the beginning, but Paris in summer in Paris. As I said, I have never been there. But I don't know if I still have so many things on my bucket list to do in the U.S. before I travel outside of the U.S., truthfully. So that we're going to glue right where I displayed it. To do that, I'm going to actually use my glue runner instead of my liquid tape because these are a lot thicker. So this means we don't have to wait for liquid glue to dry. Which is good for me because I'm not the best at talking about traveling. I love going to different things, don't get me wrong. But I would rather go learn something at a new location than hiking or something like that, which is, when I see all this outdoor stuff, making me more think of that. So that one is now glued down. You're going to take 2. You're going to pre-fold again. And again, I said if you do not want these tabs, that is fine. And we will get them removed by just cutting them off, and then you glue flat. So I'm again using my tape runner. You can use glue stick, you can use liquid glue. When I first started teaching myself, all I was doing was liquid glue, not knowing there was so many other options out there. And there we go. We have a pocket now, right there and right here. Now we are going to find one more pocket that goes on top of this before we move over to the next section. This one is all about pockets. And there's one little envelope, and that is it. I may be off screen while I'm folding the stuff on the edge. I'm sorry if I am. Let me try to get back on screen. I just noticed I am for sure. Let me just fold, so. All right, there we go. And again, since it has the bigger edges, I'm making my life a little easier and just putting the tape down, or the tape runner, I should say. I'm spoiled with the recycled fishnet variation from Mono Air that I use all the time. Excuse me. And if you're wondering, I have allergies all year round, so when I say allergies, it really is allergies for me, unfortunately. Okay, let's try to lift that up and move it over a little. I did not quite line that one up as well. Okay. So as you can see, this is already getting bulky. And if you don't line it up right, it will not close right. So that is unfortunately not quite lined up right, so I'll have a little bit issues closing, but I will show you anyway how to close. All right, so as I was saying on the edge here, how it buckles up and it's gonna make it a little harder to get it closed. That is why sometimes you choose not to have the tabs. But I'm teaching you this way because this is how the kit comes with the tabs. If you choose to take off the tabs, you won't have that bulk and it will close a lot better. I can tell you that now. There we go. And push that down, fold and crease. Okay. I'm just going to use my tape runner again. And now we're working right here where you have the little flap, the front there. And you're just going to make sure you don't go over that secondary seam. And line it up. There we go. That gives us a little spacing there to hopefully make it a little easier to close. We will find out. I could probably have moved that over, but I've already glued it down, so we're not going to try. So I'm folding the next pocket, which is this one here. It has the number 5 on it. Okay. All right, let's get this folded. There we go. And stick it on. Now, on this back part where I glued the full sheet, if you don't want that print, there, find one you want and work with it. Okay, so unfortunately with our bulk, we're going to have a little bend in our thing. So that's the only reason I would recommend not doing the tabs, but that is it. We're going to flip over to the back. We have a big pocket here. And we're going to fold it down. And this one is number 6 if you're trying to keep up with the tag number. And you don't have to do this way. This is just the way it is designed laid out wise. But you could flip this and that. You could leave that off altogether and put that one over here and here and leave that by itself. That is all up to you. I mean, you could literally put this here and that pocket in the back. Do not think just because I'm doing it this way, you have to do it this way. This is more to give you an idea and inspiration. If you're wondering, I am left-handed. And I am working off, so I'm not sure which way the video shows it. I do a lot of the stuff on the left-hand side. So I'm just putting this right on the bottom and pressing it down. I'm going to flip to the front for a minute. So it is really designed for Velcro, and it's supposed to be a seamless design, but as you can see, it's going to be a puffed up seamless design when we get there. But let me show you the trick we're going to do. We are taking that. I'm trying to get this to fold right this second for me. And just putting it across there to give more room to Velcro if you want to. You can also put this up here, this on the back, or anywhere in between. I'm just going to put some Velcro on while I hold it and try to do the seamless design as best I can, because I have a puffy folio already. And I don't think I'm going to get the seamless design. The R is going to be a little off, but that's okay. Now, my Velcro good. Like I said, that can go right there. Right there. But I have planned to glue it back here. Just to add something different. Or if you want to, you can open it up and put it right there. Actually, I think that's where we're going to put mine. So this is wherever you want to put it. I'm not even going to try to figure out what it says. I just used a glue stick and I'm sticking it down right here actually. There we go. And I can see pinks, purples, and whites on all these tags that we have over here. Let's see. I'll punch these later when I have my tags stuff with me. We can slide that one there. That one. These are normally designed to go in a folder, but I'm not putting them there. And so gives you an idea of how to put tags. You can put the tags here if you want. But we have one more piece to do after I close this up to the best of my ability. All right. That is semi-closed. This one here, we have a couple folds to do. First thing I do is I fold it this way, so I can go ahead and get that good crease. And I fold the tabs down and then the top down, and that's all we have to do. Again, I don't have to use, I'm going to use my glue runner because these are bigger than normal tabs, which makes it a little easier for me. On this, I would leave the tabs, but like I said, everything else, I may do a video and show you how to do them without the tabs and show you the difference in the future, but not today. See, I didn't perfectly line up. Thankfully, the glue is semi-forgiving right now. That means I didn't fold quite right. There we go. Now before I glue this down, I'm folding the top half. And let's see, that looks like it takes a normal size Velcro. I have one tutorial I have to use a mini Velcro on, and I can't remember which one it is. And I really don't like cutting the Velcro, so I always am careful before putting the Velcro on. Now I'm just going to give a hole back. It's kind of hard to see that the Velcro's there, but the glue's there. It is, and I'm just going to put this right here. And we have our pocket folio. I hope this gave you some ideas. I may do a part 2 where I don't do any of the tabs, so you have a different idea of how it works. Who knows? We'll find out what I do in the future. thank y'all for joining me, and I hope to see y'all in another video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, everybody.